Well, hello all of you. My computer is at the moment still moving files of the qqkk files. Now I've been trying to sort out this issue for it's taken me back in regards of a lot of days of I was doing a Win32 portable key for my website so everybody can download it in a first edition. I started actually out, I'm usually using a portable thing already, but it's getting, that's something I've used, and of course I can't just put that on the internet because it all has all my settings and all that. And I also need to make a new portable thing with the modern versions and all that. Or actually, there's one of the applications that is in modern version that doesn't work, so I need to have an older version of it. Anyway, I was trying to make that in regards to this. I began with a 60-bit version, but then I have a project in regards to trying to get back to Windows 2000, and of course Windows 2000 only runs 32-bit. And I was looking into it, and it doesn't really, the programs are even also smaller on the 32-bit. So, and it doesn't seem like you're going to lose much by actually doing 32-bit. So I'm like, okay, so I get more compatible things because 64-bit systems can run 32-bit things, but not the other way around. At least not without any kind of emulation or whatever. But yeah. So my main computer is still fixing my hard drive into this NTFS thing where it compresses things. And I'll probably make that, I'll probably write that out as qqkk and get all my qqkk files and programs over to that hard drive. I've been running different kinds of antivirus, well, although it's been a little hard to find the free versions, and I had one application where the thing is they do, like, you can search the computer, right? But then they want money afterwards. It's like scamming tactics again. But I guess many of the scammers or the ends up jumping on the white code things of, and they want money as well, right? It's interesting. Some of these antiviruses, it just seems like these are bots that are writing to them to make the video popular. So it seems like it's this, it's potato, although one wants to look like the good guys and the others wants to look like the bad guys, or pretty clearly the bad guys, right? But in itself, they are pretty much, one is feeding on the other, right? So one has, well, anyway, it's, money, right? They suggest that you do not pay the people. Now, in regards of scamming, right? One thing is to scam people, right? In regards of, this is actually more a serious threat in some sense, because it takes all your data and it puts it in lock mode, where you just can't get access to them. Although I did figure out that one of my zip files that I tried, it actually could still open the file in a good amount, although there was some of the files that was, damaged, it seemed, that the application made. So I'm thinking in regards to this encryption, maybe there's like, how does it actually encrypt it? Like is it like because it seems to be pretty fast that it actually encrypts all the files. So how does it do that? Is it like a more like a surface encryption that it's maybe in the beginning of the file or something like that? I don't know, but it does it really quickly. It doesn't take long for it to encrypt all of your files. It's incredible how fast it goes. It's just when people are saying that do this and do that and all that, if you get this, as far as I can see, the only option for you if you get it is to turn off the computer to stop it. Because all the other things, trying to stop it, this and that, it's just it will just move on doing its thing. So the first thing you would need to do is turn it off. Don't even, you would need like a tool, something that doesn't run. I ran a secondary Windows thing, and the tool, it began to work again to encrypt things, so it was still active. It didn't seem to be that active in the beginning when I went over to the other system, but then apparently, it activated itself again at some point, and all these things. So and of course it took the internet out and all that, and yet it's a very, what do you call it, very crafty, devious masterpiece. It's very devious. I've not seen such a devious thing before on the computer. Now I've had where viruses go in and toy around with your system, and you need to reinstall it and all that, right? That's one thing. But this is actually ruining your files. All your data is being ruined. It's very diabolical. So. So at the moment, I think I have cleaned the computer out of virus or malware, rootkits, keyloggers, whatever. Usually I tend to, when things happens, I try to find some of the different antiviruses, but apparently a lot of these antiviruses today apparently seem to want money, 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 money. There's not an option for you to just, apparently, well, I think AVKey was free. I used another application, but the thing is they wanna search it out, but they don't want to give you the possibility of correcting it before you pay the money, right? Which is kind of, if you use something and you're happy about it, right, then you might give into getting the product, right? But this other way of as it feels like it's another way of extorting the person, right? And then the one application, I read about this antivirus thing, and it says, well, this is pretty much made for, they're really focused on it, right? Okay. So I went into it, right, and you could get one free cleaning, right? And I'm like, okay, but you needed to activate it, right? And then you needed to wait 2 days. 2 days to get the free clean. How much damage can the virus do in 2 days? Yeah, lots of damage, I'll tell you. Lots. I don't know how many files I have of these qqkk and all that, but yeah, it pretty much hit the whole system. And again, it goes very quick. So if this antivirus actually had worked and stopped the thing and all that, it would have saved me for, I don't know how many files, but it would have actually saved me in regards of things of encryption. But it didn't, because they wanted 2 days in my account because of no resources. My bank had closed my account, so I didn't have any resources to really go by at that point. And going from month to month in regards of resources and all that. So I couldn't really do that, So I was just looking for the free alternatives that could stop it, and I moved into the other system that I had that I really, I that was from the old computer I had. Old laptop was running Windows 7, and what I did was install a new Windows 7 on this machine when I got it. This one, see, this old machine. Very, it's an old gamer PC. I got it for free, so I fixed a lot of the wires, so I can do that with not costing anything. I also turned off all the fans pretty much. There's only one fan pretty much on the top besides those that I can't turn off. Um, Actually, I might actually be able to turn that off for that, but it might not be so good actually. But in regards to the energy and all that, but the energy consumption is far away from what I think it's a 650 watts power supply, and it maximum is 600. Oh, sorry, 300 watts that I've ever used. So I do wonder if the fan is actually needed. I could try, if it, but it might not be the smartest thing because, of course, it does convert and all that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't really make much noise, so might not be a good idea. Anyway, I've overclocked the thing as well. I was toying around with some overclocking as well. There's many things that was put on hold in some sense when the virus hit. So I have this. It does seem to have found a pretty good stable overclocking thing on this device. I haven't seen any blue screen as of yet, and it's I gave it a good amount. I might be able to get a little more out of the CPU, but the RAM is. I found the smooth point for the RAM, it seems, and I haven't seen any error from the RAM for the moment, at least. It's been running for a good amount of time, and it seems to be running stable. Anyway, so the virus went on. It seemed to stop when I turned into the other Windows system, but then it just took, it began to run again. And all these things that you see on the internet, how to stop it and this and that. Well, again, the only thing you can pretty much do, turn off the computer, I don't know how you will solve it after, I'm sure that, if you have a antivirus USB or something of that kind, which apparently seems to be a little harder to get than in the past, and you need to pay a lot of money and blah 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 blah. This is the money game again. But yeah, an antivirus that you can run outside of Windows. You just turn off the computer. If you are hit with this virus, turn off the computer. Turn it off. You won't. All these extra things that they fixed into this qqkk, all the things that they have put in to make it hard for you to, it does a lot of weird things. It's like a huge, gigantic, it's very, yeah, it's like a satanic masterpiece. Really, it's a satanic masterpiece, of all these different things that makes it hard for you to really do anything. It just starts up a huge amount of things. If you begin to see your little mouse pointer begin to load, and then because that was one of the things that I noticed after pushing it and all that, the little mouse cursor would show it was loading, and I'm like, what is it loading? Why is it loading? I was like, what is going on? And I think that has something to do with making the qqkk files. So it's loading and then stopping, and then it was loading again, and it was stopping, and it was loading again and stopping, and it did it over and over and over again. I think that was an indicator that it was beginning to encrypt my files. So it didn't seem to encrypt files on the desktop, which kind of might be a way to, so they might have done so it doesn't do that, because why is my actually, oh yeah, it's my other system, okay, so I can't really, but if it was, maybe I think, I'm not sure, but it would make sense if they didn't encrypt the desktop, because then you would see the qqkk files. You might be, easily shown that something is wrong, right? Because it took some time before I noticed these qqkk files, and I was like, okay, what is going on here? And then I found out that it had already hit a huge amount of the computer. And I didn't know what it was, of course, in regards to the qqkk, this ransomware and all that. I have so many other things to do that I really kind of not really, you know. But I guess this is the price for trying to do something good for mankind, right? To do something good for others, right? You're trying to download these Windows 32 applications, these 32-bit applications, and apparently I ran into something I shouldn't have run into, because they fix these things out for people to download and click, and there you go. But I'm not done with this project. And of course, now that my own USB portable applications are unusable, and I don't have a backup in any way, I will have to redo it all over again anyway. So that's whatever. I did have a backup on my mobile, which of course I deleted just before the things. I did give my mobile, at least mobile SD card, over in the mobile before it happened on the computer. So on that level, at least I still have some of my data on the mobile, and that's still a good amount. I was testing in regards to the cluster sizes, which was another thing, another project. I found out that the SD card on the Android was wasting 200 gigabytes on the memory card. And I'm like, why is it wasting 200 gigabyte on a memory card where there's only 500 gigabyte data? Well, that's because Android make 512 kilobyte of clusters of boxes on the memory card. And that means that there's a lot of space that is wasted, like 200 gigabyte, With 500 gigabyte of data, I lost 200 gigabyte of data, which of course is a good amount when you consider there's not really even a 1 terabyte, space on the card because they're liars, the sellers of memory cards and hard drives are bullshitters. Because this is a depraved world, so they already at the beginning sell you a product which doesn't have 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte or whatever, 4 terabytes, 8 terabyte. They put these numbers out, right? But they are bullshitters and liars. And then there was, well, that's just how it is. No, that's not how it is. It's still deceiving people to say that there's so and so much when there is not so and so much. The last company I know that actually did have 40 gigabytes, 60 gigabytes, 75 gigabyte and all that real storage when you bought it was IBM. Now, of course, IBM has its depraved, depraved Nazi thing and all that. I think they made these machines for making the numbers on the Jews and all that. I'm not sure if it was only the Jews that actually got these numbering. We had a lot of millions of Christians dying as well, true Christians, right? Of course, we also have some other fake ones that will die for Mary and all that. Pagans will also die for their belief, It's like when people are saying, well, he died for his belief. Yeah, well, a lot of pagans want to die for their belief, It's not like it's, So anyway. And then they can't believe that, well, he died for his faith. Yeah, you have all these Mohammedans going into jihad and they're dying for their faith and all that. And that makes them true, that makes it true that they want to go out and die for Satan, Allah, who doesn't have any son. No, it doesn't make it any more truth. It's still a disgusting, filthy, satanic lie. And the Roman Catholics as well want to die for so-called Mary, right? Which is just pagan, satanic bullshit. Anyway, not going too off topic here, but yeah, it's just so if I should guess where these criminals are in regards to this virus, I would think they're probably in the Asian area, India or something like that, I would guess. It doesn't look like the sophistication that they would do from Gaza. No, sorry, no, not Gaza. What do you call it? That other place, Africa, right? Ghana. That's Ghana. It doesn't look like the sophistication that they would do from Ghana. It more looks like from India. That's just my. I could be totally wrong, but they seem to have a lot of these scamming businesses in India. Of course, there's not much Christianity in India either, because even with all the Christianity, they already got it from the first century, and it's still not. They're still going after these demons. All these different so-called gods and all that of theirs. They're still doing that. It's disgusting. And in regards of the so-called culture of scamming other people and all that, when you listen to people that are out and how their culture is explaining the culture of, it's disgusting. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. They should read the Bible and get on track. But they've had like 2,000 years to cling to Jesus Christ, and yet they have rejected him. In the first century, Christianity came to India. Thomas, the apostle, went to India. So, of course, later on, the Roman Catholics came, and they do what they always do and fill everything with depravity and leaven. So anyway, of course, this has stopped me in my track on so many levels. They will take a couple of weeks to get up on running again, in some sense. Already taken me since I was, when was that? When was the first day that I got infected? That's a good question. But it will take, a good amount of time to sort things out. Also written to these guys, and try to make a deal with them in some sense, but that hasn't really. I'm not going to send money for some people that, where they can just most likely not send you the real key and the product to solve it, right? So I'm not going to let them scam me on that level. So I've told them, if you send me the application and you send me the key and the instructions, although the instructions should be pretty clear to how to. I've seen how that works on YouTube and all that. You have the application, like a DOS prompt and all that, and you put in the key and it begins to decrypt your files. So not really anything of course, in regards of all the viruses and all that, they would probably also wanna have some instructions on that, but that doesn't matter. It should be turned off now. In regards of those things, the trojans should be gone, the rootkits should be gone, the keyloggers. Also, someone changed my password on Facebook, not long afterwards. So it seems like they got my password for Facebook, which I changed, although Facebook, of course, sucks. And it sucked even more in regards of it. It didn't want to send me a message to my mobile. I tried again and again and again to make it send, they wanted your phone number, right? But when it comes to the thing, it doesn't even work, because my emails could have been, what do you call it? What is it called? This word. They could have gotten my, what is it called? They could have gotten access to my emails as well. So I've changed some passwords here and there on my laptop, my crap bar and all that, which hasn't been infected with this nonsense. I went into and just changed some passwords, and just to be, because clearly someone changed my password on Facebook, and I'm like, who would be doing something like that, right? Just after all these things going on. So they probably had, they probably found access to the password on Facebook. So at least it's like it's a huge coincidence that it just comes afterwards for the thing. So yeah, what am I going to do? Well, I've told the the people in regards of this that I fixed an offer for them, and that's pretty much the only thing that I can do. And I told them, if you send me the application, you send me the key and the instructions, I will give you $300 in bitcoins. I'll have to sort out how to do that and all that, but yeah, I think that's okay. If they send me the application and I can unencrypt my files and all that, okay, I'll send them 300. I have $300. I'll send them that. Of course, I probably will get low on the end of the month, last time, but anyway, yeah, the depravity in this world. I did order also in regards of I'm trying to, because I'm trying to get off grid because all these insanities and all that, everything costs resources. But I've ordered my first slim device, and hopefully it will be the only slim device that I will need to. Okay, they've written me back. At least one of them. See here. Well, I guess that might be also one of the old messages. As I say, 0.03 Bitcoin is the minimal price. Well, I don't care, So I guess 0.03 Bitcoin is $490 or something like that. But anyway, so but I'll if they don't wanna go along with this thing, I'll just count the data lost pretty much. I'll put it to the side. That is the plan. I have a hard drive. I'll just put all the files at that point. I need to reinstall Windows and Windows 7. Of course, I have a code for Windows 7. I don't have a code for the other, but that should be a code with my new system. That's a trial. I think it's 3-month trial version for the embedded version of Windows 7 embedded. I was thinking, I'll just, install Windows 7 embedded and get some experience with that as well, because that's what the slim device that I've ordered has as well. And it should have a code for the embedded version as well. And that can be, you can get that pretty cheap. So that shouldn't be the biggest problem. And of course, I'm not going to use this computer either in regards of its power consumption is way too huge. It's a huge power consumption. And if I'm going off grid and all that, that's not possible at all. So I was looking into trying to get something that is low power consumption and can, I do have the laptop here. It's a crap bar with Linux, but yeah, I never really Linux and all that and me. And you need to have a community really, and the communities don't tend to like Christians. So apparently there's a lot of pagan satanic nonsense in the Linux society of things. But I guess it's all over, Satan rules it all, it's a day of time. So yeah, at the moment I'm just processing the files and making the system compress, with the NTFS thing. Of course, it will make the system take longer to, unpack them and all that. But I'll get some more space. I don't know how much more space, but hopefully it will give me 100 gigabyte, maybe 200, maybe I'm going to get less. Who knows? I can't remember how much it actually does when it compresses the files, but it does make it a little slower. At least I guess it depends in regards to what kind of processing and this and that and all that. So um, so that's the plan for now, you know. But yeah, writing with them and seeing the messages they write back, it seems like to be organized criminal activity. Um, you know, it doesn't seem to be just one guy. It just seems to be one of these scamming, where they all the scammers get together and people work for this scamming company, you know, and that they just do these, you know. But this is another, you know, one thing is to, in regards to these scamming things, this is on a whole nother level, because this is actually damaging people's information. And yeah, and I don't know, in regards to future things of, you know, I would think in the future there'll probably be a way to unlock the files, you know. um but yeah, who knows. Some of the websites says that it is impossible if it has a key from the outside. um I don't know, I don't know, but it kind of seems to be not so wise if you send them money and you don't get anything back, right? If they just send you a false key or whatever, you know, you end up with nothing. And one of the things that set me off further was that they wanted my card information. They wanted to have a, they wanted me to send my ID information. And I'm like, why would I do that? It's just, so that was further taking it into things where they might continue something in regards of scams. So the easiest option is just to cut it off. We go with the Bible and flag, which is also messed up. I wonder if the edition I have on the mobile is actually flag. I had like backups and all that on the computer. But yeah, I guess Satan hit me in regards to these things. So that's sad. It seems to specify, you know, it seems to go after files that are you know, files that are you know, important for things to run, exe files and all that. It seems to go directly after those. And it's incredible how long it actually takes to do this process. I think it has been like 2 days now, and it's still not even halfway. So that will take 2 more days or something like that, where it will do its thing. Waste of time. It's incredible. It's sad. It's sad that people are so absolutely, you know, how can people do this to others, you know? You have to, but I guess, you know, there's no surprise of how evil people will be nowadays, right? People love to do evil, you know. That's also the problem with a lot of people. They don't imagine how evil other people can be, because they think that, oh, you know, no one could do such a thing, right? Yeah, they could, and they do, because you think like this is, you know, no one could be so depraved, right? Oh yeah, they could. Oh yeah, they could, and they are. So you have to be careful in regards to those things. Oh well, so yeah, that set me back for sure, on so many levels. Some of the files I can delete. I will need to redo some of the things and get going with the portable project. I really wanted the portable project to you know, to finish up with that, and that's kind of not going to happen. I don't know, in regards to moving files, it seemed to have some problem. I was trying to move some files from one place to another place, and at least Windows, for now, didn't get the, but it might be, you know, a lot of files have been hit and all that, so I'm not sure how it really, I need to move the files from at least one of the hard drives, so I can install a new version of Windows 7, and I guess I might be able to do that with a live CD with Linux, and just move the files over. Linux seems to be usually pretty good at moving files, so if I can just move those over to the NTFS and then go back, delete everything from the hard drive and install this. And of course I need to make an installation CD or DVD or something like that, or Windows 7. So yeah, lots of time waste, you know. So that's pretty bad. I guess, but when they're talking about 1.0 Bitcoin, you know, I never got into this Bitcoin because it's digital money, and of course they want, oh, maybe it was 0.003 Bitcoins or whatever, I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe this was the, that seems to be also 100 and, oh, I think it was 0.03, right? No, I don't know. I haven't really, again, done much in no, I think it's, no, must be 0.03, yeah, 4,433 kronos. You know, they want for one to get, you know, are you kidding me? Do I look like I have that kind of resources, you know? Nope. And, you know, if they don't want to correct their wrongs and their criminal acts, that's 4,400. Well, how much is $300 compared to that? That's a little less. Two kronos, yeah. That's 2,247. So I guess they don't. I guess they think, you know, I guess it's half price in some sense that I'm, you know, but I don't have 4,400 and I'm not going to go along with that bullshit, you know. So, and I guess, you know, hopefully in the future there will be a way to unlock the files. Now apparently I have one of the codes for unlocking the files, and then I need the code from the other guys in some sense. And in regards to decryption and all that, there might be a solution for that in the future or whatever. So, well, yeah, it's like the files are deleted, right? You know, it's just, I'll have to start over on a lot of things. It's a huge amount of data that has been lost. But I just have to count it as lost. And again, some of the things that has been infected, I can just delete without any. Some of it, I will have, you know, I can regain. Again, lots of hours, lots of time. The portable applications that I made, I will need to remake a portable key. So for myself and for others. So I guess, of course, the one that I was making already was already for myself and others, right? You know, I updated it to 32. I would use it myself, and if I find any issues as well, I could, you know, look into those things. So yeah, is what it is. But yeah, that's that. I guess, you know, in the past I had the IBM hard drive. I had 260 gigabytes of hard drives, and both of them died the same day at the very specific point, which was interesting. You know, I knew there was issues with these Death Stars, but that's also the reason why IBM sold it to Hitachi. Because they got a really bad, you know, when all this happened with the Death Stars, they just got a really bad, what do you call it? Yeah, that was not good for IBM in regards of. I was very sad because, you know, I guess they might have been a planned thing, you know, to further go into you know, deception on how many gigabytes and all. I don't know if Itachi actually continued with the good thing of, but anyway, they were, you know, the as far as I know, they were the last ones that actually didn't lie about how many gigabytes was on a device, and everybody is doing it, right? So now because everybody is doing it, it's okay to do it, right? No, but that's what, you know, that what usually is the consensus, I guess it's called. When everybody else does it, you think it's okay, right? When everybody else puts ads and all that, then you think it's okay, and there's no diabolical bullshit about that, right? Or spyware, where everybody else does it, right? So even with cleaning, I still think around 50% of my applications on this Android device have spyware. That's disgusting. I can see audio flag and music backups, qqkk, that's some flag files. Yeah. That's a lot of time in regards to making the Bible into flag files, and I'm not sure I made it into MP3. I think it's just flag file. I'm not sure if I actually also made it just into MP3 files. Yeah, that's ruined as well. And you know, you have to give the criminals that this has to be one of the most disgusting things that I've ever seen, you know. And if you think about how much it messes up with other people's computers and data and all that, it's a kind of, I guess, stealing, right? Because you actually, you know, you take their files, and you know, the user can't get access to them. So very sad. Yeah, well, you know, if they ever get caught, you know, the keys might be released or something like that. Who knows? I don't know. As far as I understand it, there's different variations of these things, and as far as I know, there hasn't been any release of any keys or whatever. There are some of the applications where you can try to unlock your files, but apparently it has to be based on an offline key, which I checked one of the applications and it's told me it was a internet key or whatever, so it was impossible to decrypt. Now, in regards of impossibility, I don't know how far that impossibility goes in regards of the future years of people looking into things. You know, if it's a code, you should be able to have a program go through all the different codes and see what matches up, right? There should be some kind of application that could just let a computer try to go through all the different, but maybe there's too many, you know. Of course, as computers gets faster and all that, you know, I would think that there would be a possibility of decoding these things, right? But yeah. So yeah. So I was looking into, because you know, the version of Windows 7, as far as I know, was also you know, encrypted with this bullshit, and thereby I will, you know, need to download the Windows 7 64-bit version, which I was doing on the mobile, and I need all the files, which again, that takes hours to do, and then I will make a DVD and be able to reinstall my system and see how that goes. I did try to make some of the USB keys and all that with the and as far as I know, there was a Windows tool to do that as well. Maybe that's on one of my, but I don't dare to put it in the computer because if there's something that hasn't deactivated